awesome people, and welcome back to a series that I have long awaited to return to for a very long time now, and that is Thingamajig Thursday, or as it would probably be in regards to trading card related stuff, Trading Card Tuesday will be the other series kind of branching off from Thingamajig Thursday. Now this has kind of been something I've wanted to do long before I went into full-time editing and had to take a bit of a break from doing content itself. But regardless, we're going on to the point of this video, and that is we're unboxing a mystery pack from the website SuperDuperTCG, which is run by the YouTuber SuperDuper Danny, which is super duper awesome. I hope it's super duper awesome. Haha, that's a terrible pun there, but regardless, we're rolling with it. Alright, so anyways, I went through and bought a pack of 100 mystery common cards, I do believe, or uncommon cards. I can't remember off the top of my head, times 3, so there's 300 cards in this pack right here. And the first thing I've noticed straight away is it says Pokemon cards times 315. Now, 100 times 3, from my recollection of primary school and high school, is not 350, which means I've been given some bonus cards, which is really awesome. Now, before I go into the actual unboxing itself, I do want to give like a quick little breakdown on what SuperDuperTCG is. I'm not really too sure how big the brand itself is. I kind of stumbled across this on Twitter one day and was like, oh, I might give this a shot, because I'm always looking for TCG places to go buy from. There's obviously the usual suspects, which is like Pokevault. There's like another shop I used to shop at for singles and all that, and there's also like your obvious Troll and Toad and all that. But I'm always looking for places that are a little bit cheaper than obviously like the big corporate TCG sellers. So I actually went back to have a look at the mystery packs, and at the moment she doesn't have any listed, so I can't really show any of them on screen at the moment, which is kind of unfortunate, but I can go through what else she also sells. So SuperDuperTCG sells singles, very similar to, like, obviously, as I said, Troll and Toad and all the other places that do TCG stuff, and they're relatively cheap prices too. I mean, even the mystery pack itself is quite a good deal, considering that would have been common or uncommons, which normally sell for about 99 cents per card, or if you're lucky, times 3. So I paid about $20. I can't remember how much I paid for shipping. It's Australia, so it's probably more than what I actually paid for that. That's beside the point. It still works out to be cheaper in the end compared to what I normally would have paid for buying commons or uncommons singly by themselves. But I'm looking at the prices here for a lot of the singles. You got your commons for 30 cents, which is a great deal. Some of them are out of stock. You got that looks like an, oh no, that's a rare for $69, 69 cents, not $69. A rare out of stock, okay. So the prices are relatively quite good looking. They're quite attractive. That would definitely rack me in if I was looking for singles to complete my decks, which is something I do quite a bit. She has Pokemon Trading Card Online code cards, which is great because normally you don't want to go through and buy the whole pack of cards just for codes for Trading Card Online. It can be quite expensive after a while. You got Lucario GX box, $3. That makes sense because usually the GX boxes or EX boxes, what they were in the past, are quite expensive. Select sets, 33 cents per code. That's actually quite good because I paid up quite a good dollar to get some TCG codes. You got Curlier Ultra Prism Check Lane Blister Pack code for $1.50, $1.50 for another blister pack. Collection box for $2. So looking anywhere between, what was it, 33 cents was the lowest, to anywhere about $3 per Trading Card Online code, which again is quite good. And I think it was also card lots. Maybe that's where I was before. Nope, that's empty too. What about packs? And no, seal packs, nothing at the moment. Alright, so it looks like she's been cleaned out at the moment. But regardless, that's a bit of a brief look into the actual shop itself. As it's quite relatively cheap. She had singles there, she had highlighted products, she had like a rainbow, I think it was like half art Taurus rainbow, of course. It was like $9, I think it was. I've been out of the TCG game for a very long time, so I don't really know how that compares in regards to price and all that. But if I was to look at that for a collection standpoint and was like, alright, I need this card for my collection, I don't want to use a competitive stance or anything like that, that's still a relatively good price to pay for a rainbow card. Normally I'd say I don't know, I'd expect rainbow cards to be anywhere between, I don't know, $10 to $20 depending on the card. I know obviously if they've got competitive viability, the price goes skyrocketing up anywhere between $50 to $100 depending on the card and how relative it is in competitive play, because a lot of time competitive does actually determine the price of the card. So I'm not really too sure how she works in regards to that, if it's just all based off her own pricing and all that. But in the end, as I said, it's still a relatively good place to go shopping if you do want to focus on singles or whatnot. But I think that's enough blabbering on in regards to the shop background. Let's actually have a look at the actual mystery pack itself. As I said, I kind of wish I had a few on the site itself so I could show you guys what this was. So I'm just going off my memory, which is terrible by the way, and say that I think this was like 100 pack of commons and uncommons, with the occasional maybe some of the Gen 1 remake cards in here as well, which was kind of like the selling point for me because I'm a big fan of the Generation 1 cards. That's kind of where I started. I actually started with the Gym Leader packs with Erica, and I think Blaine was the other one. So I've got big memories of Generation 1. I still own Generation 1 cards at this point. And then the first thing I see is one of these SuperDuperTCG, is that a card or is that a business card? We'll have a look at that in 1 second because all the plastic isn't being very friendly with my camera at the moment. Alright, so in regards to packaging and all that, it's definitely professionally done. It's all sealed up, so no dust or anything can happen. Didn't get picked up with customs or anything like that, which is great, which is normally a common thing with Australia. Everything that goes through Australian airports always goes through customs, so they didn't get picked up. They look relatively good condition too. I'd say they're all near mint. Which is great. I tend to go for near mint conditions. Mint would have definitely increased the price. So yeah, they're all in really good condition. So I'd say near mint. There's a good range already. I can see like you got, hey, that's a rare. Alright, there's a mixture of like probably, I'd say most of these would be non-holos because that's a rare, but it's a non-holo. So that gives me some type of idea what we're dealing with. So I'll start with the business card first. Oh, by the way, I'm not sponsored. As I said, I did this out of my own experimentation just to see if this is a thing that... Oh! Well, that's a reverse holo. Alright, we'll start with this. Or should I leave that last? Because, as I said, I saw reverse holos. Oh! That's an e-reader card from Generation 3! Oh, these things go for like a major buck, I think. Hold on, I'll show that because I was like reacting to it off screen. That's a Generation 3 e-reader card. Now, I actually have done some research into e-reader cards just in general from that era, and there's packs that go for quite a lot of money. So to see one of them, and I actually had some of these growing up as well, if I'd known they were going to turn out so damn sought after, I guess, because they're becoming like a bit of a collector's thing, I actually would have kept some of them and didn't do what kids do. I'm not even going to go into what I did as a kid with my cards. Alright, so... Oh, sweet! So we got a little bit of shameless plug-in going on here. SuperDuper Danny, as I said, is the YouTuber that runs... Oh, that's a sick business card. I actually personally need to do my own business cards myself. But yeah, obviously says thanks, Danny. No props. And so we got the SuperDuper TCG. I must say that's a sick looking. Hold on, is that a sticker? I think it's a sticker from memory. I'm gonna work that out afterwards, but you can see like there's the I think that's Shining Moltres, there's Incineroar from Sun and Moon. Ah, that's like an old school Raichu card there in the back. Ah, that's sick. I really like that business card there, or sticker. I think it's a sticker. Stands corrected there. And you got SuperDuper Danny, so you got a sticker for SuperDuper Danny's channel as well. And of course you got the business card here, SuperDuper Danny. SuperDuper Danny, YouTuber and Pokemon nerd. Let's get in touch. YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Twitch. And of course you got her, I think that's her email there, promotions@superduperdanny.com. So if you want to go check her out, all of her socials should be SuperDuper Danny on all of those platforms there. And as I said, if you want to go check out the website as well from where I bought everything, it's SuperDuperTCG at .com, I do believe. I'll have everything up on the screen regardless. Right, so I guess we get into things. I'm probably going to leave this last bit last, because I think these are the extra 15 cards that was thrown in for a bit of a surprise, because that's a reverse holo straight off the bat. Arbok from, I actually wouldn't even know what set these are from, because I've been out of TCG for a very long time. But I do want to open up this one first, and I want to have a look at this Clefairy e-reader card. Now, there was something special about the e-reader cards from Generation 3. I think you could scan them with your GBA with the e-reader, and you could play a game with them. It's even sealed up, so yeah, that tells me quite a bit. I'll get a zoom going on. Alright, so there's the Clefairy e-reader card. So the one way you could easily tell this was an e-reader trading card was the fact that it had the e-reader sticker down there. There was plenty more e-readers. I think it was like 2 or 3 e-reader series for the TCG. And as I said, what made them really special was the fact that you could scan them with the e-reader and play them on a Game Boy Advance game, I do believe, or you could scan them into a system on the GBA and have a look at certain little things. So it was quite cool. And as I said, to see one of these in real life again is quite amazing, considering all the research I've done recently and just found out about these particular cards. So that's super duper awesome, and I hate to use that pun again, but no, it really is. That's really cool to see that again. So I'm gonna probably transfer that to a actual hard cop, like a hard thingamajiggy. I can't English at the moment, as you can tell, and I can't remember my turns and all that. Your sleeves. I'm gonna transfer it to a hard sleeve. Alright, so we'll go through the cards. We've got Scruppy. I'm pretty sure I've got that card already. That looks like a very familiar. Oh, that kind of looks like an old, either Generation 3 or Generation 4 card. I can tell because it's got Poke Power on it, and that's a term I have not seen for a very, very, very long time. I do believe that might be 4th generation, just looking at the very card itself. So, Poke Power, Metal Chain. Once during your turn before you attack, you may attach a Steel Energy card from your hand to Beldum. Excluding effects of attacks or Pokemon powers, you may search your deck for Beldum and put it onto your bench. Shuffle your deck afterwards. This power can't be used if Beldum is affected by a special condition, which is something we've seen throughout the years of TCG. And its only attack is Takedown, requires 1 Metal Energy and any energy of any type, does 30 damage, and it does, of course, the recoil damage 10 to itself. So yeah, I definitely was not expecting an old card like that. I wonder if I've actually got that card, and I wonder if I've got any cards from that series, because I actually do need cards from that series. I had one series from Generation 4 I was actually very close to finishing, and that was when I was actually still in high school at that time when I was doing that collection. Anyways, moving on, we got Trico, we got Whismer. Well, I got plenty of Fairy Gardens. That's from the X and Y series. I know that one very well. Alright, Cutie Fly. I do believe that might be from Sun and Moon. Then we have one from Ultra Sun and Moon. The Manaphy, or could be from Sun and Moon. Funs. Lily, which is actually a card, as much as I hate Lily, it actually really is a good card for TCG. Draw cards until you have 6 cards in your hand. If it's your first turn, draw cards until you have 8 cards in your hand. So it's a very, very powerful supporter card. It's very commonly seen in decks from memories. From when I was playing online, I saw quite a lot of people using this card. It's pretty much the equivalent of like Shauna and all that from X and Y. Except with the bonus effect of, if it's your very first turn, you can draw 8 until you have 8 cards instead of 6. So what you do is you'd empty your hand on your very first turn and then play your supported Lily card if you drew it on your very first turn, and then build your hand for 8 and then hope your opponent doesn't have any way of like demolishing that hand once you've built it up. No, it is actually generally a really good card, so it makes sense as well, because like the new rulings for TCG compared to the very old days of TCG was you can play as many supporter cards as you like, but in modern day TCG you can only play 1 supporter card. So cards like this is the main reason why that new ruling is in effect. So yeah, that's, as I said, really good card was the main point I was trying to make. We got Boltoy, Copycat. That's an old card, I do believe. Shuffle your hand into your deck, then draw a card for each card in your opponent's hand. I've used cards like that before. That's actually kind of handy, because if their opponent's got a very strong draw power in their hand, which is what a couple of decks try and focus on, is just to fill the hand with as many cards you like, this card can be quite handy and can really turn around the game as well. So let's just say the opponent had like maybe 8 cards in their hand, they played a Lily, you'd go out and clear your hand, and then you play Copycat, then you refill your hand with the, it'd be like 8 or 9 cards that your opponent has as well. So you can pretty much almost make or break you as well, or make it so you can turn around from a very rocky spot. You can have a terrible hand, play what you want, play Copycat, and then have all the cards back in your hand. Anyways, moving on. Fiery Flint. If you play this card, only if you discard 2 other cards from your hand. Search your deck for up to 4 fire energy cards, refill them, put them in your hand, and shuffle your deck. That's a nice... Actually, that's a really nice card for fire decks. You can use things... I think it was like Blacksmith or a couple of cards like that could get cards back from the graveyard as well, or the discard pile. That work very well with Fiery Flint, so you can put things in the discard and probably get them back. Also works in very well with some abilities that allow you to get energy cards or cards back from the discard pile as well. I think it's more in fact that getting energy cards back from the discard pile was a big thing with fire decks. It was a big thing back in one of the expansion packs for X and Y, I do believe, that was focused around fire types. Anyways, moving on, we got Fennekin, Hippotile, Flababy. If you go second, this Pokemon evolved during your first turn, which is, again, quite a nice little effect there. Got War Turtle, Fairy Charm UB. Prevent all damage done to the fairy Pokemon this card has attacked you by attacks from your opponent's Ultra Beast Pokemon GX and Ultra Beast Pokemon EX. EX is still around? That's interesting. I wonder if that's got any competitive viability. Unless that's used on, like, Mega Gardevoir. I don't know about Sylveon these days. It might be used on Sylveon these days, but the only one I can really think of is, like, Mega Gardevoir. That could be quite a big one. I don't know how competitive viability Ultra Beast are in the current day, but if they are, then that's quite a good card, and I can see why fairy decks would be quite dominant in the meta if that's the case. Right, Dratini? That's actually quite a cute little Dratini. Look how cute it is. Vullaby? I don't have that card. I was going to say, I have a Vullaby card similar to that. We have Dewpider, Wishful Baton, which is quite a good little item card there for a lot of cards. So what this does, if the Pokemon this card is attached to is your active Pokemon and is knocked out by damage from an opponent's attack, move up to 3 basic energy cards from that Pokemon to one of your bench Pokemon. So normally when a Pokemon is of course knocked out, all items that are all cards attached to that Pokemon get sent to the discard pile as well. And that includes energy cards as well, which can be quite devastating because the only way to get them back from the discard pile is to use items that normally bring them out of the discard pile. So Wishful Baton in that case would save 3 of those energy cards. Most times to be using maybe 3 basic energy cards on Pokemon in most cases. So it would retain those and actually move them to another Pokemon, which in most cases would make them viable to start attacking again and keep that momentum going even if you had a Pokemon get knocked out. And of course the Pokemon tool rule is you can only attach a Pokemon tool to one of your Pokemon that doesn't already have a Pokemon tool attached to it unless it states it can hold more than one Pokemon tool, which there has been cases of that. I do believe Sigilyph from 5th generation was the exception to this rule because it had a Pokemon ability that said you can hold up to 4 Pokemon tools instead of 1. So imagine having that on a Sigilyph from 5th generation. Now, of course, that wouldn't be viable in meta today for competitive, but if you're using unlimited rules, I'm curious to see how powerful that actually would be. Alright, Ariados, Patilli, Alolan Vulpix, Whismur, Stuffle, Bursting Balloon is our next item card. If this is attached to one of your Pokemon, discard it at the end of your opponent's turn. If the Pokemon this card is attached to is your active Pokemon and is damaged by an opponent's attack, even if that Pokemon is knocked out, put 6 damage counters on the attacking Pokemon. So it's basically the equivalent of Rocky Helmet. There was also another card back from 5th generation meta that made it so if a Pokemon attacked it, it would take about 6 damage counters as well. But the other rule given to that to kind of like balance it out a little bit was that you can only have one particular of this item in your deck, a particular name to it as well. So I guess that'd be a throwback to 5th generation's equivalent of this particular item. However, you only have it for like one turn. You attach it to the Pokemon in hopes that the opponent just smashes into you and they take 6 damage from this particular item, and then at the end of that turn, this item disappears into your discard pile. I don't know, I wonder if you can actually do any type of gimmick decks or gimmick strategies with that. Now, we've got a cool looking Carnivine here that is actually pretty damn cool. Got a Glameow. That's actually really cool, cute Glameow. We have Mantine with Mantine Surf. If this Pokemon has energy attached to it, it has no retreat cost. Now, I particularly like abilities like that, because this one has a retreat cost of 3, which means you got to discard 3 energy attached to this particular Pokemon to retreat it. But in this case, since it's got the ability that negates the retreat costs, it means you can keep your energy cards if you've got to retreat it for whatever reason. And it's got a decently nice move as well. It's got 2 water energy needed and 1 energy of any type to do 100 damage. Now, that might seem like a big cost considering there's other cards that probably do the job better, but if you got some way of distributing water energy cards or energy cards just in general to Pokemon like this, it shouldn't be too much of a cost, so still interesting card nevertheless. We got Bagot. Hey! Now, Gearsleed, I'm pretty sure that's from the old school days. It's a remake of a Gen 1 card, which I like. Oh, sorry, Ghastly, you're gonna have to get ignored for a quick second there. With an old school card, this is gonna bring me back to when I very first TCG pack or starter deck or whatever they're called back in the day, and that's Erica's theme deck, Erica's Oddish. I do believe I had this card. Oh man, this is throwing me down nostalgia lane. I would have been, I could have been like 6 or 7, maybe even a little bit older when I first got into Pokemon. Oh man. Pokemon Power, Photosynthesis. All energy cards attached to Erica's Oddish provide grass energy instead of their usual type. This power works even while Erica's Oddish is asleep, confused, or paralyzed. And Poison Powder is its only attack. Flip a coin of heads. The defending Pokemon is now poisoned, and it also does 20 damage as well. Oh man, that looks so... Oh! And then topped off with the fact we've also got a Charmeleon from Generation 1. I'm going down like big nostalgia lane. At the moment, if you follow my Twitter, you may have actually seen this already, but I have a Pokemon blanket that Pimp gave me. I don't know where he got it from. People keep asking me, where'd you get it, where'd you get it? I don't know where I got it from. I got given it. Anyways, to the point, it's got all the Generation 1 cards on it, and Charmeleon's on there. That's the exact card it is. I don't think that's... I would have been probably base Oddish or Fossil Oddish that was on the blanket. So just seeing that card now is like, that's so cool. And it's in really good condition too as well. It's got some little nudges on it too. But I mean, it's not going to really affect too much on it because it is a remake. It's not the very original base or whatever expansion this came from, Charmeleon. I actually might even have one of the very original Generation 1 Charmeleon cards laying around in my office. One day I'll put them on camera, but for now that's going to sit in my cabinet in my little safe area, my non-dust zone, sitting there until I get more Generation 1 cards. Anyways, continuing on, we've got a Generation 2 card now. I didn't actually know they remade the Generation 2 cards. I'm pretty sure this is a remake. I doubt this is going to be like the originals. Are they? Nah, they can't be. I know Generation 1 got a remake, but I don't remember Generation 2 getting a remake. I'm gonna have to double check that. Otherwise, if this is actually Gen 2 card from the day, because the dates kind of line up, 1995 to 2000, that would have been when the Generation 2 decks came out, then we're looking at one of the original Macago cards. And even then, like, that's in... You know, there's a couple of nicks on it here and there, but even then, like, that's still in decent condition. It's... I think that gets knocked down to around mid-range quality, because as I said, there's a few nicks here and there on it. Like, you put it into the light, you can't see it. Excuse me. I know, I'm actually kind of interested now to research that particular card if they did remake Generation 2. I got a funny feeling, though, this might be an actual original Gen 2 card. Ooh! Oh, dear. Oh, wow. Okay, now we're definitely going back in the old days. Switch! And I do believe that might even be from Gen 3 or Gen 4. That kind of looks familiar. Alright, now I'm actually starting to feel very damn old here. If it is Generation 4, these would have came out when I was in year 10 of high school, which would have been 2008 or 2009. I can't remember when the 4th generation cards like expanded from. I think Generation 5 came out when I left high school. God, it's making me feel old. That's 2008. It's 2019 now, just to give you an idea on how old I would have been then. Anyways, I'm moving on before I feel even older. Loudred, we got Alolan Grimer, and we got a cool looking Ponyta. Okay, I know for a fact I have this Rhyhorn. I've seen it already somewhere in my storage deck. And then we have Tangela. We have oh god, that's a terrifying Roxas card. Then we have another Fairy Charm. But this one's a little bit different to the other one. This one doesn't prevent Ultra Beast, GX, and EX. This one actually prevents all damage done to Fairy Pokemon from your opponent's GX and Pokemon EX. Now, that makes me believe that the Ultra Beast got considered as a different card completely. I do have a couple of Ultra Beast box laying around in this office. Believe me, I've got so many cards to unbox at this point. That I'm probably going to be able to refresh on everything by this point. But that would be probably more handy than the actual Ultra Beast charm itself that prevented damage from Ultra Beast, GX, and EX. What surprises me actually is that they're using a term Pokemon EX, which was something I was like very common back in 5th and 6th generation TCG. I don't even, do they even do EX cards these days? I thought all the new cards were GX only. Or GX and break cards. Now I'm definitely very curious if they're actually adapting to like unlimited formats or if EX actually has returned. Anyways, I'm moving on. We have another Alolan Grimer. This one's very more realistic looking Alolan Grimer. We have Ralts, Slowpoke. We have Rattata, Ladybug, a very cute looking Mudbray. I actually quite like the Mudbray and Mudsdale. And then we have a Generation 1 Staryu. I definitely know it's a Generation 1 base or jungle Staryu because that's the very same card that you use in the Pokemon TCG Game Boy Color game. That game was awesome, so that's how I could tell straight away what card that was. Again, not sure if that's the remake or one of the originals. Then we have Onix. I generally do believe these might be the remakes. Just the texture of the actual card itself, I do believe the actual texture might have been a little bit different back in the old days. As I said, I will double check because I do have some of the original base cards laying around my office, so I can compare the two of them. I may even have the original Onix anyway, so I might be able to do like a quick comparison there, just off screen. Then we have Croagunk. We have a 4th generation Vibrabra, or it's a 3rd generation one. Oh no, sorry, it's an E-rated card, so that's 3rd gen. That I need to seal that up as well. All E-rated cards will be sealed because I need to double check a couple of things with them. We have Shelgon, that's another E-rated card you can move there. So they're 3rd generation cards, that's why I'm kind of moving them over there because, as I was explaining earlier in the video, E-rated TCG is something that might be something that you might want to start collecting before the prices go up, basically. I have no idea why the prices are going up on the E-rated cards. I just really do not know if it's because, like, it's an old peripheral that just is ancient now that people just want to go back and collect before they all disappear to show any remnants that the E-reader actually existed or what the case is. Moving on. You have Onix. I think that might be another 4th generation card because the layout of the card is a little bit different. We have Loudred. We have, a Lantern. That's another 4th generation card, just judging by the layout and format of the card itself. We have a Dragon Talon. If the Dragon Pokemon is attached to card is attached to is your active Pokemon is damaged by an opponent's attack, even if the Pokemon is knocked out, put 3 damage counted on the attacking Pokemon. Oh, that's a nice. Ooh, nice. That's a Garchomp Fin. I wonder if that's from the Cynthia deck that was meta for a little while. So that would have been attached to a Garchomp most likely. Garchomp and Lucario decks, I do believe that particular deck was. Alright, we got the Cosmog. Cosmic Guard. As long as this Pokemon is on your bench, prevent all damage done to this Pokemon by attacks, both yours and the opponent. Nice, so that stops attacks similar to like Earthquake, I think did something like that. Just basically attacks that are targeted the bench. So there's a couple of attacks that can do a sneaky little sucker punch on the bench. So they attack your active Pokemon and then also bench to try and get some easy kills off there. This one actually prevents those type of damages, so that's neat. That's neat. That's actually kind of a scumbag technique I used to use for gimmicks decks. Alright, so we've got another Alolan Vulpix there. Got a Riolu. Got another Bagon. Got another Lantern. Got a Pansear. Got another Alolan Rattata. We got Magneton. Actually, I could be wrong about the layout. Or maybe not. It's really hard to tell because I have not seen the modern day cards so far. So if you look like that, it does actually look like the current format. So I could be wrong about some of those formats. They actually could be current day cards. Alright, we've got Minun. Volcarona. Oh, wait. That looks familiar. I might actually have that Volcarona sitting in my fire deck. I could be wrong, but that ability sounds very familiar. Right, Dedenne. Zora. We've got another Zora, but a different... is that a different set? No, it's from the same set, but it's an alternative artwork. We've got a Rockruff. That's a derby looking Rockruff indeed. We have a Gibble. Now that's from a deck I'm familiar with. Ascension. Now I do believe that actually is the Meta Gibble. Search your deck for a card that evolves from this Pokemon, put it onto this Pokemon to evolve it, then shuffle your deck. So you go to go get a Gabite. I'm not sure if the Gabite had the ability I've got in mind that could search out a Garchomp from your deck and put that into your hand and evolve it the next turn. But if it is, then that's definitely the Meta Gibble. We have Dewgong from Generation 1. Or Aurora Beam, Ice Beam. That's definitely one of the base or jungle remakes. Then we have Root Fossil. This is an e-reader card. Over into that pile you go. We have Weedle, Voltorb, Torchic with Singe. I do believe I've used that card as well. We have Bodybuilding Dumbbells. The stage 1 Pokemon this card is attached to gets 40 health. So this one's more or less targeted at Pokemon with 2-stage evolutions. So you have your base Pokemon that evolves once and that's it. And then you put that particular card onto that Pokemon for a HP boost, making it a little bit tankier, which means it can last a few more hits. Then we have a Still Energy. I have so many energy cards laying around my particular storage area, it's not funny. So more the merrier, because it means I can make more decks and not have to pull apart another deck in order to use more energy cards. Plus the trainer boxes actually do quite a good job of getting you energy cards as well. Then we have Carbink, Larvitar, Crabrawler, Sneasel, Spupa, Frogadier. Now I don't know how good Greninja was in actual meta, so that could be a good card, it may not be a good card. We've got Patilli, Beldum, we have Flabébé, we have another base or jungle Caterpie there. We have Scatterbug, Execute, look how cute that Execute is! Aw, that's cute. Oh, Premier Ball. Hold on, that one looks a wee bit different. What if that's another remake? Search your deck or discard pile for a Pokemon level X. Alright, that's a Generation 4 card. Level X is 4th gen from memory. Show it to your opponent, put it into your hand. If you shuffle your deck, shuffle your... If you shuffle your deck afterwards. Hold on, let me read that again. That completely went over my head. Am I being dyslexic again? Search your deck or your discard pile for a Pokemon level X. Show it to your opponent and put it into your hand. If you shuffle your deck afterwards. Am I dumb? That's generally going over my head. If you shuffle your deck afterwards. Do you have to shuffle your deck twice? Okay, I'm gonna leave that there. I'm just gonna assume I'm dumb and I don't understand that card. that really went over my head. Holland Adventurer. Alright, you can play one supporter card each turn. Oh, what deck's this from? I didn't know supporter was only one. When did that new ruling come in? Discard a card from your hand. If you can't discard a card from your hand, you can't play this card. Draw 3 cards if you discarded a Pokemon that has an alpha on its card. Draw 4 cards instead. Is that 3rd or 4th gen? Okay, that's another card I'm not familiar with. If that is 4th generation, that means that supporter rule was actually around since 4th gen. I generally don't remember that rule though in 5th generation. I generally don't. I'll have to look back on some of my old 5th gen meta games and see if that was a rule. Anyways, moving on, we've got Pupitar, which is cool because we had a Larvitar as well, so if I get the Tyranitar, I could even do like a particular Tyranitar deck or something like that, I don't know. Voltorb, Combusken, then we have Dratini, that's a cute little Dratini, Alolan Grimer, and then we have Ralts. So that was like the first 100 cards, and I bought 300. Damn, how long have I been going for? I thought that was going to be a lot quicker, but it looks like it's not going to be, so I might have to split this into 2 videos instead. I might have to, because I've got another 200 cards to like go through, and I'm probably going to blubber on for a little bit more, so I think it might be like a very wise decision to end it here, or I show off the holos. I might do that, and then we just leave like the last 200 for the next part, and just make that like a really quick video. Asterix, of course, at the end of that one. Alright, so the holos we got was Reverse Holo Arbok. I'm sorry I hit my camera there. And then we got a Skateboard. The retreat cost of the Pokemon this card is attached to is 1 star, is 1 energy less, and it can retreat even if it's asleep or paralyzed. Now that's quite handy. Then we have a Jungle or Base Ponyta Reverse Holo. That's definitely the remake, so I don't remember. Yeah, that's definitely a remake. I can tell by the symbol at the bottom there. Then we have a Farfetch'd. I really like the colorless Reverse Holos. They're really cool. Reverse Holo Psyduck. And then we have a Reverse Holo Hitmonlee. Then we got a rare Blastoise. Powerful Squall. Once during your turn before you attack, you may look at the top 6 cards of your deck and attach any number of water energy cards you find there to your Pokemon in any way you like. Shuffle the other cards back into your deck. So this is what I was talking about in regards to the Mantine with needing 3 energy cards but for 100 damage. You can even put something like that Baton card onto Mantine, so if it was to be knocked out, it could easily transfer those 3 energy cards onto another card. So that is one way of utilizing this particular card, and then utilizing other cards and still retaining that high energy cost as well, but still moving it around in a way. Then we have a Vivillon, again, that's another rare. Then we have Malamar. Psychic Recharge. Once during a turn, before you attack, you may attach a Psychic Energy card from your discard pile to one of your bench Pokemon. So again, if you had some way of cycling a Psychic Energy card from your discard pile, you can easily just put that onto one of your bench Pokemon, recharge them easily, so then if they've got to, swap back into active, they've already got the energy cards to do so. And the last card is going to be Magnezone. Magnetic Circuit. As often as you like during your turn before you attack, you may attach a energy card, electric one, or lightning energy card from your hand to one of your Pokemon. So that one's not as good because then it requires you to have energy cards in your actual hand instead of like the discard pile or from your deck. So it's not as effective, but as I said, if that particular deck or that particular meta had some way of putting lightning or electric energy cards into your hand, then that ability is quite strong. And with that, that's going to be it for this particular video because I don't want this going on any much longer. As I said, I will make this part 2 and just going through and having a look at the last 200 cards. We'll just focus on that. It should be pretty decently quick at that point. But to reiterate what I said at the very beginning of this video, these cards were purchased from SuperDuperTCG, and I'll have all of the links to the website down in the pinned comment for this, and I'll also have it somewhere on the screen as well, so you can go type that in and check it out for yourself. As I said, very relatively cheap singles there. She also sells Pokemon Trading Card Online cards, which I'm probably going to go snag myself because I do need to get access to some cards for the online version, because it's just generally a lot cheaper to buy the singly rather than going out and buying actual packs or blister packs or booster packs or whatever. So that might be worth checking out. She does also sell singles. Best to get in and check them out before they disappear, especially some of the Rainbow GX cards or Rainbow Edition, Rainbow, are they full arts or something like that? I don't know. I haven't really dived into 7th generation cards at all for a very, very, very long time. I am very much out of the loop for TCG. So I think that's basically all I need to say. So thank you so much for checking out this video. And with that, until next time, this is Lady KrimZen saying ciao for now, but not forever. Ciao!